Tonight, we continue our Missing in America series with the disappearance of Kierra Coles, a 26-year-old postal worker pregnant with her first child when she vanished from her Chicago neighborhood on October 2nd, 2018. Her car was found a block away from her apartment with her cell phone still inside. NewsNation's Rudabeh Shabazi is live in Chicago for us tonight with Kierra's story. Rudabeh.
Morning, 2 weeks ago, Kierra Coles' family celebrated her 29th birthday without her. Her child would be a toddler now. Instead, 3 months pregnant and excited about her future, she simply vanished from Chicago's South Side.
I need to get the word out. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, bring her home, man. That's sad, man.
Parents' unrelenting search for their daughter.
I'm crushed, I'm hurt, I'm confused, I'm lost. I only know how to do what my mom taught me, and that's stand strong until I find out the answers I'm looking for. Hey, man, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere, bro. I appreciate that.
Kierra Coles was 26 when she went missing from the south side of Chicago with a baby on the way.
I know she will be a wonderful mother.
Flyers, rewards, and a family's pleas for answers.
And I have to wake up every day and go through this every day, like not seeing her.
Kierra was excited about her future. She got a job as a postal worker, was renting that apartment, and even saved up for her own car. That car was found here, half a block away. Inside, a prenatal bag from her recent visit to the clinic, her cell phone, and a packed lunch on October 2nd, 2018. But she was never found.
We haven't forgotten. We're not going to just let this become a cold case.
Mac Julian represented Kierra in his role as president of the local chapter of Kierra's union, which is offering a reward for information on her whereabouts. A career full of promise cut short.
A lot of the new hires, particularly here in Chicago, they're coming from the inner city, and this is a good middle-class job, and is their, opportunity to live a better life.
The Chicago division of the U.S. Postal Inspection Service conducting its own investigation, vetting nearly 400 leads, and offering a $25,000 reward to get justice for Kierra. Hope for a break in the case when this video was released. Initially thought to be Kierra, but her parents say that's not their daughter.
In the beginning, I went along with it because I thought it would help us. I thought, okay, if somebody was like, oh, they think that's her, so, they ain't on the right track. I thought they could slip up and they'll catch them in something, but here we are 3 years later, it didn't help nothing.
Joe Coles, Kierra's father, says he was questioned by police, but he and her mother have their own theory about who's responsible for their daughter's disappearance. Her parents say her boyfriend was also dating another woman, both of them moving to another state after Kierra's disappearance. Police have not said they're looking at either of them as persons of interest in the case.
The people who's involved should have never been able to leave this state, period.
Kierra Coles' case caught the attention of artist Damon Lamar Reed and was the start of his most meaningful project yet, murals of missing women and girls in Chicago, a cause very close to his own heart.
In 1984, an aunt and two cousins got murdered. The killer has never been found. It's still an unsolved case.
Strokes of compassion for a young, beautiful woman full of life and ambition.
My greatest joy would be if one of these paintings I did helped bring back some information, help bring back some answers.
For now, some solace in creating a space for Kierra's grieving mother to honor her daughter and bring a smile to her face.
She just wanted to be seen or heard, so that was going to be her next goal, to get on TV some type of way. We just never imagined in this way. I never imagined in this way.
Now, 3 years later, the pain is not subsiding. The family hoping someone, anyone, can help bring Kierra home.
Thank you, bro. That's my daughter that's missing, bro. It's been missing. She's on Facebook. Check us out on Facebook. Y'all, I'm tired of crying, but everyone wouldn't understand unless you're walking in these shoes.
The pain cuts deep. Her father tells me people have been calling him, scammers, pirates have been calling him, demanding money, claiming to know the whereabouts of his daughter. More dead ends, more broken hearts in a case that continues to baffle the community.
This family, Rudabeh, does not want this case to go cold. That's why they want the attention continued. What are you hearing at this point from police and any leads?
So police have not given us detailed answers to our questions. They did release this statement. It says, quote, the Coles case remains a high-risk missing person investigation with potential foul play suspected. At this point, anybody with knowledge of her last whereabouts is asked to contact the Chicago Police Department. We're seeking any and all information in an attempt to locate her, and we will not stop until we do. And the police department working with the FBI and the Postal Inspection Service to get some sort of answer 3 years later, Marnie.
And a reward of $25,000 being offered as well in this case. Ruta Bay, thank you. And if you have any information at home about Kierra's case in Chicago or across the country, please contact the Chicago Police Department.